In this video, we're going to be taking a look at See-Threepio for the Black Series 6-inch collection. This is his very first original trilogy Black Series action figure. And I've had this ever since it was initially released back in 2016, I think it was. It's interesting, it took us 3 years almost to finally get See-Threepio in the Black Series line at the time. And oddly enough, for whatever reason, so we had this one, and then we also had the Force Awakens See-Threepio released around the same time. It was the one with the red arm. They made the sequel trilogy See-Threepio a mainline release. This one they made a Walgreens exclusive. It doesn't make any sense to me at all why See-Threepio's iconic appearance, they would make an exclusive with a limited release, and then they would make the sequel trilogy one the mainline. I know at this time, especially with Disney, and I'm sure they coordinated with Hasbro, Lucasfilm is included with that, they were really putting the push on for the sequel trilogy, so that's probably why they did it. Basically phase out the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy at the time. Of course, we know a lot of that's kind of backfired over the years. And the See-Threepio, I think, has had his share of, he has had his share of re-releases since then. So he's pretty easy to get a hold of now, but at the time, he was a little bit difficult to track down. I know I had a little bit of difficulty. But I did get him back in 2016, and he's been in my collection since. So I think the sculpting work is pretty good on this. Similar to the 3 3/4 inch figure I reviewed previously, I think the See-Threepio mold was just reused for the 000. And I do have the Black Series 000 reviewed on the channel if you want to check that out. So I think it's pretty much just that, except this time in the gold color paint, and then he doesn't have the extra accessories. Speaking of 000, the Black Series version of him and the BT droid, they are getting repacks here really soon. They went up for pre-order a couple days ago. It's a nice opportunity for people to get a hold of those again. You know, the original Dr. Aphra is going to be going up for pre-order pretty soon as well. Of course, this is all at the time of this video. So sculpting work is really good. I'm convinced this is See-Threepio. They put a lot more detailing in his eyes compared to the 3 3/4 inch counterparts. At least the samples I have and have seen over the years. So that looks really nice. It does have the mouth and gate there. Sculpting work on his head is good. Looks pretty accurate. Nice detailing in his armor there. Exposed wiring all around. One thing I really like about this action figure as well is he doesn't really have the articulation in the elbows, which is accurate. And they did put the rod on both sides here. Of course, we know See-Threepio does have restricted arm movement, and this figure captures that beautifully. That's something that the TVC figure does lack. And for his legs here, he does have the silver leg. And they did give him the silver foot, which I'm not sure if that's accurate. The TVC See-Threepio does not have a silver foot, but the original trilogy one I have does. I would have to go back and look at the pictures again of him. It's many times that I've seen A New Hope, it's one of those details that just doesn't come to mind for me. In terms of his articulation, he does have a double joint the head, basically, where it is on a ball pin there, basically. Pretty good range of motion. He does have hinge at the shoulders, no articulation in the elbows, which is accurate. Then the hinge wrist, joint the torso, and hinge hips. Yeah, he does have a swivel thigh there. And then he does have the hinge knees, which are restricted, and that is accurate as well. Then the rock wrinkles. So as far as articulation is concerned, I consider this probably the most super articulated while also being the most accurate See-Threepio. He does not come with any weapons and accessories of any sorts, which I don't really know exactly what Hasbro could have included with him. So that's alright. That's pretty much all I can show you with 3PO here. I will bring out his counterpart from the Black Series as well. He'll get his own video here soon. It's the original R2-D2. So it's interesting, there is a 3-year difference between these two figures. R2-D2 was released at the very beginning of the line in 2013, and then it took all the way till 2016 before we finally got his other half. I don't understand Hasbro's methodology of how they release action figures, but you would think, oh, we did R2-D2, so sooner than later here we should get See-Threepio out. So would I recommend this 3PO for your collection? I suppose most people that want them probably have them in their collections at this point. You can get the archive version. I don't know about the Walgreens exclusive one, and I don't think there's really any differences between the two figures. Perhaps a slightly different paint job, but that's it. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure if there's any differences between the two. As far as price is concerned for the original, I'm not sure what the going rate is these days. At the time, it was kind of expensive, but since there's been so many releases since then of 3PO, it might not be so much these days. So if you want one for your collection and you don't have one yet, I would suggest getting the archive one. That one's pretty easy to get hold of. I think the last time I was in an Ollie's, they had a mountain of them. So you can get one for $10 even. Not too bad of a deal. And these two look really good together. I know we've gotten a new R2-D2 since then, but I'm really happy with this one and don't see a need to replace them. So I probably display both of these side by side on my shelf there. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There'll always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support, and check out some links in the description if you haven't done so already. As always, thanks for watching.